The WNBA is once again at the center of a growing controversy, and this time, it's drawing the ire of fans across the country. The outrage erupted when news broke that Brittney Griner would continue to play in the league despite the firestorm, surrounding recent remarks made by Riley Gaines, the former NCAA swimmer turned women's sports advocate. Fans are fuming. Social media is ablaze. And questions are being raised not just about Griner's presence in the WNBA, but about the league's priorities, its response to public concerns, and whether or not enough is being done to protect rising stars like Caitlin Clark. Let's rewind. Riley Gaines, known for her strong stance on preserving women's sports for biological females, recently made a bold statement during a televised interview. She called out what she described as double standards in professional women's leagues, highlighting Brittney Griner by name. According to Gaines, allowing Griner to continue playing in the WNBA, especially after the controversy surrounding fairness and player safety, sends a disturbing message to other players and fans alike. Her comments didn't hold back, and they ignited a firestorm that has divided audiences, sparked media debates, and once again placed the spotlight squarely on Brittney Griner. Griner, who has long been a polarizing figure in women's basketball, has faced scrutiny in the past, from her past arrest and detainment in Russia to her outspoken political positions. But the current outrage isn't about her past mistakes. This time, it's about what some fans believe is an uneven playing field. Riley Gaines questioned whether it's fair for Griner, standing at 6'1" and built like an NBA forward, to compete in a league where physicality has become a major concern, especially when newer, younger players like Caitlin Clark are constantly under threat from overly aggressive play. Caitlin Clark, the rising star from Indiana Fever, has quickly become the face of the WNBA's future. With her deadly shooting, fierce competitiveness, and massive fan base, she has revitalized interest in women's basketball. But with her popularity has come increased scrutiny, and unfortunately, increasingly physical and dangerous play. In multiple games this season, Clark has been on the receiving end of hard fouls, body checks, and flagrant plays that fans believe go far beyond standard competition. The calls from referees have been inconsistent, and in many cases, outright absent. And now, people are asking, are players like Caitlin being targeted? And is the league doing enough to protect them? When Gaines made her statement, she wasn't just criticizing Griner personally, she was raising a broader question about what fairness in women's sports really looks like. Is the WNBA willing to make tough decisions to ensure the safety and integrity of the game, or is it more focused on protecting certain stars and narratives regardless of the consequences? That's the question now, burning through fan forums, sports media panels, and every corner of Twitter and Instagram. The WNBA's decision to allow Griner to continue playing without any public review or disciplinary measure has infuriated many fans who feel the league is showing favoritism. They argue that any other player who generated this much negative attention, especially one with a controversial track record, would at least be investigated or asked to address the public. But Griner continues to play, business as usual, while Clark keeps getting shoved to the floor with little to no protection. To fans, that's not just a double standard, it's a slap in the face. Things came to a head during a recent game between the Phoenix Mercury and the Indiana Fever. Griner's physical dominance was on full display, and though nothing illegal was called, fans couldn't help but notice how much contact went unchecked. Meanwhile, Clark, though keeping her composure, was bumped and bruised throughout the match. After the game, cameras caught Caitlin limping slightly as she exited the court. She didn't complain, and she didn't ask for sympathy. But the images told the story. One player is towering over the court, making contact with impunity. The other is just trying to survive. Social media erupted. Clips of the game circulated like wildfire. Hashtags like #BettisProtectCaitlin and Old Fair Play WNBA began trending on X. Influential sports commentators chimed in. Former players voiced concern, and fans, both casual and die-hard, demanded answers. How can the league justify this? Why is there such a blatant lack of enforcement when it comes to protecting its rising stars? And how does Griner continue to skate past the controversy without accountability or consequences? To be fair, Brittney Griner hasn't directly responded to Riley Gaines' comments, nor has she engaged in any specific foul play this season that would warrant suspension. But fans argue that's not the point. The point is optics, safety, and balance. When physical players dominate without restraint, it creates an environment where finesse players like Clark are at constant risk. And if the league doesn't step in, it risks losing not only its credibility, but its brightest stars. Even more troubling to many is the silence from WNBA leadership. The league has yet to issue any official response to the Gaines controversy. There's been no public comment from Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, no acknowledgement of fan concerns, and no clear effort to address the rising calls for rule enforcement and better player protection. For a league that claims to be all about empowerment, diversity, and growth, many fans are wondering, where's the action? This isn't just about one player or one game. It's about the future of the WNBA. It's about whether fans can trust the league to stand up for its stars. Not just the veterans with clout, but the new faces drawing in a whole new generation of supporters. Caitlin Clark has brought more eyes to women's basketball than nearly anyone in recent memory. She's packing arenas, boosting TV ratings, and giving little girls across America a hero to believe in. But if the league doesn't protect her, or worse, allows her to be punished for her success, it sends the worst possible message. And Riley Gaines knew that. Her remarks, while controversial, tapped into a deep undercurrent of dissatisfaction among fans. She saw the pattern. So did millions of others. And now they're speaking out, louder than ever before. So what happens next? Will the WNBA listen? Will it step up enforcement of physical play, particularly when it borders on targeting? Will it issue guidelines or reforms to ensure players like Caitlin Clark are allowed to shine without fear of injury? And most critically, will it hold all players to the same standard, regardless of fame, size, or legacy? Fans are watching. Sponsors are watching. The media is watching. The league is at a crossroads. It can double down, pretend the storm will pass, and hope fans stay loyal. Or it can make the hard but necessary choices to ensure fairness and safety for every athlete on the court. Because if the league truly wants to grow and maintain the momentum that Clark and others have generated, it must do more than just talk about equality. It must show it. For now, the frustration continues. Brittney Griner is still on the court. Riley Gaines is still trending. Caitlin Clark is still playing through contact. And fans are still waiting, fuming, for the WNBA to take a stand. Whether that moment ever comes, only time will tell. But one thing's for certain. If the league continues down this path, ignoring the voices calling out from every corner, it risks losing the very people who believed in its future the most.